What's up, everybody? It's LgDoucet here. Today is Monday, March 22nd, 2021. If you're listening to this in the early part of the day, you might be hoping to get a Cool Cats 3-pack. If you're listening to this later in the day, maybe you got one, maybe you didn't. Maybe the drop didn't happen. I really hope it did. Either way, you're listening to The First Mint, a show where I talk about marketplace trends, big sales, and everything going on with NBA Top Shot. We got a sweet agenda today. We're going to talk about a couple injuries around the NBA, not so sweet. The Cool Cats 3 drop and some details around it, as well as all the challenges that are happening around NBA Top Shot right now. Some of them are expiring very soon with some new ones on the way. Then we're going to talk about a very sensitive topic, how the prices have been plummeting the last couple days. We're going to dig into that and look at some of the reasons why that might be happening. And then finally, we have a very quick and brief conversation with EasyAces, who was the seller of the largest sale so far ever in Top Shot history at $210,000. I just want to remind everybody that none of the content here constitutes trading advice in any way and that this show is not affiliated with NBA Top Shot, the NBA, or Dapper Labs. I'm just a guy at his house who loves basketball and blockchain. This is The First Mint. We're going to kick it off today with some of the not so great news. Two major key injuries this past weekend to some of our favorite basketball players, some of our favorite top shotters. First of all, the king, Lebron. He rolled his ankle. It looked painful. He got back up and he took a shot. He nailed the three-pointer, but then he went to the locker room and now he is out indefinitely with a rolled ankle injury. I've had many ankle sprains. I can tell you they suck and they take a while to come back from. So let's hope he comes back very quickly. His moments actually dipped after the injury, but then again, so did the entire market. So I don't know if it was due to the injury or what, but we hope LeBron comes back very soon. A reminder of some of his recent moments. He has the All-Star moment, the rare. He has a new 35,000 CC moment that is being rolled out in some of the upcoming packs whenever they drop. And of course, he has a challenge coming up that we are going to get to in just a minute. Another major injury, Mr. Lamelo Ball, the leading Rookie of the Year candidate. He's only played 41 games and he's out. Don't know how that's going to impact the Rookie of the Year race. Has he played well enough to maybe still win it? And especially if the next couple guys like Anthony Edwards and them don't play very well through the rest of the year? Not sure. Typical recovery for his injury, which is a fractured wrist, is minimum 8 weeks, which would bring him back just in time for the first round of the playoffs. But again, that's hopeful thinking. He's a young player. He should take it easy. There's no rush to come back, but we wish him a speedy recovery. Also, a really quick reminder of two more moments of his that are coming out sometime soon, but we haven't seen yet. One of them is his new 35,000 CC moment. It is not out there yet. It will come out in whatever packs happen next, hopefully. And then, of course, his Cool Cats Master Challenge reward. Speaking of which, Cool Cats 3 dropping today, 67,000 packs with a challenge that will likely launch right after. Again, those 5 Cool Cats are Porzingis, Sabonis, Dragic, Barrett, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That is the third of 4 Cool Cats challenges, all of which are going to be part of the LaMelo Ball Master Challenge coming up. Who knows when? Maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks, maybe at the end of April. We're already late into March. And just a quick reminder, I see this question a lot. You will not need to complete these challenges to be eligible for the LaMelo Ball Master. You will just need to collect all the moments that were part of them, commons excluded, as well as the reward. So you're going to need these 5 that are part of this challenge, as well as the Jokic reward that it is the reward for Cool Cats 3. Just keep that in mind if you like LaMelo and you want to aim for that big challenge when it eventually comes around. Speaking of challenges, there are quite a lot that are out right now, and Cool Cats 3 will be the 6th one that is running at this time. So let's go through them. This could be a really good time in the near future to complete these challenges. The prices to do them are way lower than they usually are. And I also want to remind everybody that the cost to do these challenges, like let's say you're going for the Zion Rising Stars, which isn't out yet, it'll be out soon. let's say you're going for that and you're looking at the cost as being 5,000. Don't forget that you keep all those moments that you collect and you get the Zion. So it's not that the cost of the Zion to get it is $5,000. It's the cost of the Zion plus the other 10 moments that you got to get for him. So first challenge that's up is the Jamal Murray Metallic Gold. It's Metallic Gold Challenge number 20. It was just posted the other day. The players for that are Levine, Wiggins, Harden, Towns, Ingram, Gordon, Harris, McCollum, and Lowry. Keep in mind, Metallic Gold challenges, well, first of all, they're awesome that they're only one of 499 for the pre-required cards, so that these will be less than 500 mints maximum. So that is pretty sweet. This will be a nice Jamal Murray play. And also that the next two Metallic Gold challenges are going to be Kawhi and Christian Wood. We know this for a fact because we can see all that information on Top Shot Explorer. So if you like Metallic Golds, you like those sweet moments, keep an eye out for that. Next challenges, of course, all the All-Star stuff. That's the only other stuff that's going on. So right now, we have All-Star Game Challenge number 1 for Giannis. It is the bank three-pointer. That'll be followed by the Lillard Challenge for the game winner that he hit during the All-Star game. That Giannis Challenge, a real quick one. It's done in 3 days. Also, the Seeing Stars Challenge number 1 for Kevin Durant. It's done in 8 days. That one was originally posted for 3 weeks, which we thought was insane, but now it's going to come to a close early next week. And after that will be the Lebron Seeing Stars Challenge, one that many of us have been waiting for a very long time. Last I checked, Mr. Greg Murray, he gave us the completion numbers. We're sitting at about 1,800 completions of that potential Seeing Stars Challenge number 2 for LeBron. That could still climb over time, but the prices for that, the price to complete that challenge has been coming down, which is good for anybody who hasn't pulled the trigger yet and wants to. Other All-Star Challenge, Mike Conley, still 10 days left. That one's a very simple one, just a couple common moments from that one. Prices last time I checked were going just at about $220, $240 to do that Mike Conley one, and no word yet if it'll ever be involved in some other kind of Master Challenge. Nobody from Dapper has mentioned any kind of Master Challenge of any kind for any of the All-Star stuff, so rumors floating around on Twitter or Discord, again, super unconfirmed that any of these moments are going to be needed for any other challenges other than the ones that have been stated, and that's pretty straightforward. Last All-Star Challenge going on. You definitely know this one. The Rising Stars, Anthony Edwards, that huge jam on the Raptors. That is the reward. There are 8 days left, and of course, that will be followed by the Zion Rising Stars moment reward. Also a very exciting one. Keep an eye out on all these guys because they're ending very soon, and usually when a lot of challenges end, well, it means other ones start, but it could also mean that maybe some new sets are coming or something like that, because we're kind of sick of seeing the All-Stars. We need some fresh stuff. We need some nice, fresh stuff. Cool Cats is cool. We need a totally new set. We need a totally new theme, so hopefully we get that soon. Okay, on to the plummeting marketplace. Very sensitive topic, and I want to remind everybody here that literally less than 2 months ago, we went through the exact same thing. There were fewer people, there were fewer moments, and the prices, honestly, were a lot lower than they are now. If you want to listen to an episode where we covered that, you can just go through the podcast history here and click on the Marketplace dip. I think it's like episode number 8 or 9. It has Mr. Andy on there, who's one of the most well-known collectors in Top Shot, and he talks about some of the basic economic principles of the game and how that last dip wasn't the last dip, just like we're seeing another one now, and that this one won't be the last one either. This is a cycle. This is a marketplace and it changes. What has been affecting the prices over the last couple of days, which have been a very quiet weekend? Well, let's go through them. 1, an antsy set of new collectors. There's a lot of people, and if you're listening to this, you might be one of them. Maybe you know some friends who are like this. They're collecting purely for profit. They're not really collecting. They're just lining up for packs. They buy the pack. They sell it after. They don't want to hold any moments. Maybe they're not that interested in basketball. Those people exist. They're allowed to play the game. And realistically, they might have just been selling off their stuff this weekend with nothing new coming out. Or maybe they just regularly sell their stuff. Number 2, antsy flippers. The same kind of people, but they're people that, they actually might collect a bunch of stuff just to try and flip them. There are a lot of flippers out there who are only there to flip. And now with some of the new marketplace rules, like limits to 5 minutes, they might be just thinking, hey, it's time to liquidate all this stuff. And that's fine. We want to get rid of those people. If you're one of those people, you're just here for the flips, that's cool. We got no problem. It's okay. But that does not make for the healthiest marketplace. We want collectors who love these moments and they want to hold them for a long time. A couple quick flips here and there. Of course, that's always cool. Profit is awesome. This is a fun marketplace. We like profit. But if you're here just to do a bunch of flips and then run away, well, hopefully this is kind of driving you out because, again, we want people who are here for the longer run. So that, again, might be part of that downturn. Number 3, a correction. Again, this is a market. It's cyclical. There are corrections. We had tons of new people come in and very little supply coming in. Last thing that drove the surge is that all those 15,000 CC moments were turned to LE. That created an insane surge that had to come back down sometime. Every other moment outside of those was affected by that surge. It's coming back down. It's getting corrected. And it doesn't mean it's going to stay there. It could go way back up. It could go way down. We don't know. This is a new market and there is no precedent to base it on. So let's call it a very loose correction for now. Number 4, signups are limited. I've been hearing from some folks on Twitter that signups are open, but they are limited as to how many there are per week. How many that is, I don't know, but I think Top Shot is currently limiting how many new accounts can be made every week. There might even be a wait list that you have to submit to. I saw something about that on Twitter earlier. Can't confirm. And again, signups are not just an open book. It takes a little while, it seems, for new people to get in on Top Shot, which then delays them wanting to buy some moments, get in on the sweet action of NBA Top Shot. So a slowdown in growth of users is not good for the marketplace and, of course, for prices to stay stable. However, I'm sure Top Shot is working on a way that those people don't have to wait in the future. Number 5, withdrawals. This is probably the most important one. A lot of people are getting access to withdrawals, which is something everybody wanted for a long time. There was a lot of criticism that it wasn't possible. Still a lot of criticism about that. But the fact is that many more thousand people every week right now, like 10,000 or something like that, are getting access to withdrawals. What does that mean? Well, it means they're taking profit. It means they're taking money out. And that's normal. That's healthy. The longer term effect of that is that the more people get their money out, the more people who have been waiting on the sidelines with a very skeptical look on their face, which is totally reasonable, they've been waiting to get in because they heard withdrawals weren't possible. They are going to see that withdrawals are now possible and they might start to dip their toes in the water. So withdrawals, a very good thing. We need to be able to get our money out very easily. It might actually make people spend quite a bit more in Top Shot to be able to do that. Overall, guys, I know it's hard to see your account values go down. It's hard to see something that maybe you bought at a couple $100 now half that price. I know it's tough. It's a bit of a punch in the gut, and I feel you. What I will say, though, is that lower prices are actually really good for this ecosystem. We need new collectors to come into here, see moments that they like, and see them at a reasonable price. If you love Ja Morant, the cheapest Ja Morant moment can't be $400. It has to be like $20. He's a great player, but you need to be able to buy him. It doesn't matter what the scarcity is. We need new buyers to have stuff that's accessible to them. So keep that in mind during the next bull run, as well as the prices go up and you're wondering if you should sell or not. Know that those prices can always come down and that when you have profit, you should take it. And again, the point being there that we want new collectors to have some new stuff that they can buy freely and not feel like they are spending an arm and a leg to do that. Outside of all that, my only advice is to hold the moments that you think are awesome. Yes, their value might go down, but that's okay. That's holding an asset. Again, this is a long game. You can't look at your assets on a day-to-day basis. This isn't necessarily a trading platform. This is a collecting platform, and you collect things for months and for years, not for hours. Another thing you should look at is ditching moments that you think aren't great. Honestly, I've seen so many people just hold hundreds of moments, and some of them with players that they don't care about or moments that they don't think are very good. Get rid of those. If you don't want them, if you wouldn't see yourself holding them long term and holding them through a bear market, get rid of those moments. That's okay. It's okay to ditch moments you don't like. That's fine. Like even if the price goes up one day, get that liquid. And then, of course, my only other piece of advice is, again, to think about new collectors. Put yourself in the shoes of new collectors. If you're new to Top Shot right now, what do you want? What kind of moments do you want? Do you want a shiny new Lamelo? Do you want the challenge for Lamelo? Do you want to do the Lebron challenge? Spend a couple $1,000 getting that sweet new LeBron. Do you want the Lillard challenge? Do you want a rare Lillard All-Star Game winner? Because that's such an awesome moment. Or are you just more traditional as a new collector? You want a metallic gold? All these things. Think about what those new collectors are going to want and maybe start to invest in those moments if you are looking for stuff that is going to go up in value. Of course, don't forget something that is coming very soon that we are definitely going to do some kind of pop-up podcast episode about or some kind of video about it. Rookie badges, first moment badges. They've been promised to us many times. It might be by the end of the month. It might be longer than that. But that is one of the next major shifts that is coming in Top Shot. Again, in the shoes of a new collector, you're seeing that there are now badges on Lamelo and Halliburton and Wiseman, all those guys. That could be really nice. So again, keep it in mind. What are people going to want to buy in the next couple of weeks? Otherwise, whatever you do, just be sensible about it. Next up, you're going to hear my interview with Mr. EasyAces. So I have known this collector for a little bit. We don't know each other that well, but we've recently gotten to know each other a little bit better. He now holds the record for the biggest sale ever on NBA Top Shot. He sold a LeBron from the top Kobe tribute dunk number 12 for $210,000 the other day. Very awesome. Very happy for him. That was a great purchase. He actually has a few more of those moments that he has refused to sell, and he is not going to sell anytime soon. And he's actually going to tell us about that in the clip you're going to listen to. So have a listen to my chat with EasyAces. All right, folks, we are on with EasyAces, the current holder of the biggest sale. He is the seller. He was not the buyer. The biggest sale in Top Shot history to date. Today is Sunday, March 21st. So far, it is the biggest one. It was $210,000 for one of the LeBron from the top moments. EasyAces, how are you feeling the day after the sale, or a couple days after the sale?
Well, ALG, I'm happy to be here, first of all. I think the feeling was more like leading up to it before the sale, that the night before, where I was really all kind of excited and had the jitters because I knew the sale was coming, because I had already previously arranged this deal from user BigDog_brothers. They hit me up on Twitter or on Discord. Now I think things have settled where I'm back to earth. I think if I had, not to criticize Roham or whatnot, but I think if I did have the cash like in front of me, I don't know, things might be a little different. It's kind of just sitting in my dapper.
If there is, how about this? What we need is we need like a digital frame to visualize your dapper money.
Yeah,
how about
or
that?
some sort of big check. If I had maybe a check to look at.
Yeah, that's if your dapper balance was displayed as a check,
Yeah.
then that'd be a little bit more enticing.
Yeah.
Well, dude, tell us like what we want to know. How did this deal come together? It sounds like it was a bit more than it was just randomly bought off the marketplace.
So I had previously had the number 48 serial listed for about 200. I think it was it's around 213,000 for the past 3-4 weeks. I chose that number just because it was kind of like, looking back to a few months ago, it was like a number where, well, first it would be just ahead of the top sale, which was kind of cool, and kind of just a nice number where I could, take some money out of just as like an investment. So what happened was, the same day that the $180,000 sale was, I think that was I think it was Tuesday, the exact same day, I got a DM from Big Dog Brothers. They said, "Oh, hey, I was trying to buy the one for 180,000. Is there any way like we can work something out, or you want to sell one?" And then I said I do have the number 48 listed. I'm kind of just around that level. I was expecting them. I was just kind of expecting to hear, or at least like haggle kind of bit, because often the case with these like big sales is there's a lot of haggling or days of negotiating. But these guys, they just right away, I guess they really wanted it, and they wanted the number 12. So we went with 210 within a matter of a few minutes. I think how it worked is they said, I think they tried to pull a fast one actually, where they went like 200,000 for number 8, which is like my holy grail. I said, nice try, and then kind of quickly we got to 210 for number 12.
Nice. When you say usually there's haggling for sales like this, what other sales are you talking about?
There are possible sales that never happened, just because myself and then the people that offer, we never got to an agreement. Like for an example, during the last bear market, I think it was maybe, yeah, like 3 to 4 weeks ago, I had a buyer or had some interest in a buyer had show some interest in my Curry number one. Yeah, I was willing to let it go, but only for a certain price. It has to be something really, really special for me to let that moment go. I got an offer for 90K, and there's a lot of times what happens is I guess both people are trying to feel each other out. The buyer's always wanting to get the best deal without having to spend so much. And sometimes, yeah, you just never agree on a number. You come back and say, I want at least 140 or so, and it just never happens.
I have to ask you, is somebody chopping vegetables in the background?
That's my 1-year-old Australian Shepherd. She's a cheerleader. I think she's playing with. Oh no, those are my new shoes. I'll be right back. We're back.
The shoes are okay?
Yes, luckily.
Are they new shoes? Wait, are they new shoes from like you bought yourself some new shoes yesterday after this sale?
Actually, it was. I believe it was Friday, just the day before.
All right, let's talk about you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rewind. When did you join Top Shot, and what was that like? How did you get in?
Yeah, so it was early December. I was watching a YouTube channel, Cultivate Crypto. I had no idea what NFTs were or anything. Community member Anurag. He was on the show giving a presentation on NFTs. I think the first few projects he mentioned, I wasn't too interested in. I was kind of just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then he mentioned, I'm like, by the way, I'm in this project called NBA Top Shot. And my ears kind of perked up. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about this. And yeah, he was just showing like the marketplace and all the different the different packs they had, and it really caught my eye.
And then you were in.
And then yeah, basically just within that same day, next thing I know, I bought the Lace 'em Up pack. Or well, I started with just like a common pack, the $12 pack, just to like get started. And then very quickly, I realized I was like, whoa, I have to be a little bit careful here. Hopefully, this hobby doesn't cost me too much money, just because I found it so addictive at first.
How do you find it now?
I mean, now is more of a different time. Back in around Christmas is when I was accumulating a lot of the moments from my collection, going after I guess the better moments on the site. Now at this point, my strategy it's changed a little bit more. It's kind of more just sitting on some of these nice S1 legendaries, and then even trying to look for some S1 superstar commons that have like now dropped from the dip. So I'm a lot more just selective and just kind of chilling.
How do you manage? You've got over, I think, 1,200 moments. How do you manage that?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's not even many compared to some of these other folks, right?
Yeah.
Like I know there's like Greek has like 10,000 or something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of just happy on sitting on a lot of them. From time to time, I'll just kind of sell the odd like random common moment from like S2 or that kind of thing, or even maybe the odd time a LeBron, just when I guess the prices have gone up quite a bit. But I'm pretty stingy on those, especially selling those Kobe tributes. I'm very stingy.
Are you a big basketball fan?
I would say I definitely like watch more than the average person. I'd say I'm not like a diehard fan, but I've kind of always been a big LeBron fan. I remember in 7th grade, actually, I picked up, or my mom was nice enough to give me a LeBron jersey on the Cavs. And it was like the first ever sports jersey I ever had. I've kind of always been a LeBron fan my whole life.
How are you feeling about LeBron's ankle injury?
I mean, it's unfortunate for the Lakers. In terms of his moment value, I think actually it could be maybe an okay thing for my holdings or for the S1 LeBron, just given that now there's maybe a chance there'll be some less moments. Now that I think about it, LeBron, he's like such a strong athlete. I'm sure he'll only be out for maybe a few weeks. So
yeah,
it's probably not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. I think what was way bigger was the ball injury today, right? He's out for the year.
That just happened before we're recording
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I think that's all.
Oh man, yeah. Let's talk about that. I don't want to keep you too long, but like really quick, like what do you think? How do you think that's going to impact the market, or like just overall Top Shot?
Ooh. Oh, it's very interesting. I did notice his price has dropped like quite a bit just from the injury, which kind of to me seems a little bit like, well, I guess a lot of the moments are dropping, but I think I might have to just pick one up. People are overreacting a little bit. I guess maybe because now his chances of winning Rookie of the Year are going to be lower, but at the end of the day, if this guy's a generational player and you're getting this juicy discount on him, it's pretty tempting.
I've been doing the same thing, man. Like I famously, I talk about this all the time, how I sold one of the Lamelos for like $28 at one point. And that was in the before time, right? That was in the before time. There was no badges.
Yeah.
There was none of that stuff then. And I've always like looked at it when it was like $4,000. And I was like, I wonder if this is still a good idea. But now that it's dipping, I'm like, well, it might be good. It'll still get 3 badges. It's not going to change much. It'll still be pretty decent in terms of the Top Shot realm. So
For sure.
And who knows? We don't know what kind of recovery he's going to have. He could come back for the playoffs.
4,000 mint as well. That's going to be basically like a rare moment, or it's kind of almost is a rare moment.
It is. Well, rare moments can be minted at 4,000 now, right? So it can totally happen. What out of all the moments you have, what do you think is the last one you would ever sell?
So I do have the number 8 Kobe tribute moment. That moment I kind of told myself I almost never want to sell it. I'm hoping hopefully at some point in the future they'll have some sort of way to fractionally sell off moments. Just because it's such a special moment, it being the first season, the year that Kobe died. It is the Kobe tribute itself, and the number 8 cereal, which was like the exact same number Kobe was wearing on where he did that dunk on the same hoop in the same building, done by LeBron in almost the exact same fashion. So it's very hard in my mind for there to be a better moment. So I just always want to have a piece of it. Hopefully just only a fractional sale if I do have to sell it.
What other moment that's not in Top Shot right now would you like to see made into a Top Shot moment? If the NBA, Dapper, they call you up and they're like, listen, man, pick any moment and it's going to go into the next run of back set. Doesn't matter when it's from. You pick whatever you want.
I think you'll be able to guess which moment I'm thinking of as a Raptors fan.
I only have joke answers. I was gonna say Garbajosa destroying his ankle or something like that. That's not.
Matt Bonner actually. Matt Bonner 3.
Yeah. Rafael Arujo, man. He's got some gems from back in the day, the dark days of the Raptors.
Yeah, just that whole Raptors run. It was that kind of really actually got me into basketball again.
Great.
It was so easy just to watch the team go. And how pumped up the city was. And I remember watching the game itself with my dad, and it's such an iconic moment, just the way the ball rattles off the rim like a movie or bounces off the rim. And the crowd goes crazy. So definitely the Kawhi in a Raptors jersey buzzer beater.
Even watching that play again, that actually makes me miss having a lot of fans in the arenas.
Oh yeah.
That's like watching that stuff. I'm like, oh man, we're really missing just having tons of people there.
For sure.
That's hopefully that happens
for sure
again soon.
Especially for playoff basketball too.
Yes.
It's kind of one thing in the regular season, because the games, the atmosphere is not the same. But I miss the playoff.
I agree with you, man. Well, Aces, this is great to have you on. Any other future plans you can allude us to? Are there any other buyers sniffing around your collection?
I haven't had any. Haven't had anything recently. Maybe that's also because I've delisted a bunch of stuff now. Considering I had that sale and I got a little dapper now, I'm a lot more selective in what I'm selling. But that said, my DMs are open on Discord. EasyAces, if you want to hit me up. Still always have an ear to listen.
That's it, man. You can never have too many shoes either.
For sure.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for me today. Again, good luck in Cool Cats 3. I hope it goes down flawlessly. You never know. Again, you can follow us, The First Mint, on Twitter. Make sure you give us a follow. We post all the breaking news and as much information as we can provide. We have another show coming up this Wednesday, another podcast. So keep an eye out for that. And we'll see you next time on The First Mint.